Margaret?
Well, I'm also, like you said, it's actually true. There was no style of play. United were shambolic. Not just that alone. Like, I'm going to put it this way. The way United played, it was like Burnley playing an elementary squad, a kindergarten squad. Okay, coming to the field. Let's show these children how to play football, and let's just give them that goal. Let them just win, so that they won't feel bad. That was what happened. United were scared when they get to Burnley. Instead of them go inside, take the ball to Burnley, they were scared. The next thing they were doing back pass, terrible back pass. Which at the point I was so furious. I don't know how I felt as at that moment. I was like, what is wrong with this Manchester United team? There was no bite, no, it was just flat. Everything was flat. I didn't really see anything. There was no style of play, like you said. It was just go to the field there, run around the field, do whatever that you can do, and then bring the 3 points. It takes a moment of magic from Johnny Evans to give that decisive pass that gave us that 3 points.
3 points.
In everything in that match, in that match, I think nothing actually happened. There was nothing beautiful happened. I didn't feel anything going on there. The only positive thing, apart from Johnny Evans and Hannibal, I think those were just the two things I was like, okay, there is hope for Hannibal. And then Johnny Evans, he gave us that experience back. At least there's one experience. Any other thing, United were awful. Honestly, they were so awful that I do not know what is going on. If the manager himself actually do sit down and think about the squad when he's getting wrong, or the players if they are getting it right, and then Rashford not even helping matters at all. I think it is high time they stick him on the bench. They start him from the bench. It is high time, because he is not doing what Rashford needs to do. He's not giving us the Rashford of last season, though last season was weakness, but we want to see Rashford play as a team, not as an individual. At the time, he needs to pass the ball. Instead of him to pass the ball, he's just trying to shoot. It's not every time you shoot. In a situation like that, you check whoever that is behind you, and then you pass the ball to your next to the next player there, at least, so that make an attempt to score the goal. But United, no.
Wow.
Burnley dominated from the beginning to the start. You can imagine, just look at the possession. It was so bad that I felt like, what is wrong? Are they scared of Burnley? United can't even pass the ball. They can't even look at the midfield. The midfield were, oh God, it was something else. They can't even penetrate into Burnley midfield. United had to resort to playing long football, long ball. And that was the long ball that actually gave us the goal, which was actually bad. When are we going to sit down once again as a United fan and watch beautiful football, see beautiful football and attacking football where they are not scared of playing? But I just hope that we get to see something good in future. Yeah.
Margaret, I want to ask a question. Yeah. Would you want to swap spots with Arsenal? Can you take the 1 point? We get the 3 points.
Hey, whoa.
No.
All right.
Go on.
See, W all the way, regardless of.
You can't. No, you can't.
Points matters.
You can't use one result. No, Arsenal have been getting results. Arsenal have been getting results. Arsenal have been getting results. And United have not been getting it. So one draw alone does not mean that Arsenal are getting it back.
All right, Kule, you said you want
a good play. I want to enjoy football.
Yes, I want to fight Margaret. You are looking for good. You are looking for good football. You go find them tire. Instead of you to take the 3 points that you can take now, you are looking. When you clearly know, look at the team, look at those midfielders that we put. Look, Margaret, and this is my problem with Man United fans. You need to understand that some of these basics and rudiments, These guys do not even understand these things. That is where you will know Burnley is even ahead of United, because you can see that Company in the Championship changed Burnley's orientation, and that was why they were able to bring. Because if you remember Burnley under Sean Dyche, Burnley were a very pragmatic team. They will just sit back and. But look at Burnley against Man City. Even though Man City won that game, Burnley still troubled City a bit. It didn't make it easy for City like that. So it goes to tell you that if Burnley under Company are able to get good players who can blend into how Company wants them to play, they are going to be good. Before you know it, maybe Burnley could be a Brighton.
But they play very well. But
You understand?
Sorry.
You get. So the thing is this: you now trying to come and you should try when you know the opponent you are playing. You should already know that. Look, it's good. It's just like against Brighton. You really thinking that United were going to play? We are going to team up and play against Brighton or go toe to toe with them? It wasn't going to happen. If any of our goals were going to come, it was going to be from the counter. So what you should be praying for in all those games is, look, let's get our moments on the counter and score and win, because that is how Manchester United know how to play.
Sorry. I want to ask you a question, Kunle. Sorry to cut you short. So with your analysis, are you putting the blames on the football, Manchester United players, or Eric Ten Hag's door? Just one answer.
No, it's not. It's on the players. It's not Eric Ten Hag, because
it cannot be on the players. I beg to disagree.
Nah, it's not. It's not. No, Prof. No. It's not. No, Prof. No. Because you need to wait, Prof. You need to understand that a bulk of these players have been in this club. Let me chill. Look at someone like Marcus Rashford. These are the kind of things like Margaret said. Like Margaret was saying about Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has played under how many different managers? How come this guy is still struggling for form and for fitness, and you are saying it's the manager? If these players, what players do is they are supposed to key into what the manager's ideas are. That is how it's supposed to be, but it is always a constant struggle, and that is what is happening with Eric Ten Hag. Don't forget that Eric Ten Hag is not. United are not even playing anything close to what Eric Ten Hag. Or have you seen United play anything close to what Eric Ten Hag played at Ajax? This man had to ditch everything. Someone like Pep Guardiola or a Jurgen Klopp will not ditch their philosophy. They will push it. But this man saw that these ones cannot do it. He had to go back to how they understood how to play football. So how is it the manager's problem, please?
I strongly disagree, because look, I don't know how many people will agree with me here, but if Roberto De Zerbi gets to that Man United side, these are not little, these are not small players. These are professional football players that were bought with serious money here. It's Manchester United we're talking about here. So I want to strongly disagree that these players cannot pass the ball, cannot play the style. I think Eric Ten Hag is struggling to get his ideas across to those players. There is no chance.
Okay, so if that's the case, Prof, so are you saying that Louis van Gaal was a bad coach, Jose Mourinho was a bad coach, or even a Ralph Rangnick who is known to be one of the he's known to be the father of modern football and all? And these things were not able to pass. You now think it is
You're making the wrong comparisons here, because
you are deceiving yourself, Prof. To be honest,
I remember very well that Louis van Gaal style, Man United were passing. They were playing Louis van Gaal style. They were passing the ball. They kept possession. They did all of that, right? Jose Mourinho's style is not an offensive style. He doesn't pass the ball. He's not interested in keeping the ball. Eric Ten Hag and I think he's struggling to pass that across, because look at the players that what De Zerbi is doing with his players. Those players. If Eric, you cannot tell me that Eric Ten Hag can use those Brighton players to do what De Zerbi is doing with them. So that he is struggling to get his message. You have Bruno, you have like Bruno Fernandes, Christian Eriksen. These are very, very, very good players who know how to hold the ball. Casemiro, Varane, Martinez, Mount. All these players, they are very good. He used Anthony in Ajax. Didn't use Anthony in Ajax. He used Van de Beek in Ajax. So look, he's struggling to get his ideas across to Man United, and there's a huge problem for him. Because Man United cannot continue to get away with results. Like Margaret said, I'm a supporter of her. It's not about the results when it comes to Man United anymore. He has been there now second season. His style has to be implemented, and we have to see his imprint on that team. Hell, sorry, but
nah, prof. It doesn't work.
Hold on.
It doesn't work
I
like
just
that.
want to wade in.
Okay.
I just want to wade in here. Sorry, Kunle. Is it not the same Manchester United that came to the one the Carabao Cup we're talking about here? Is it not the same Manchester United?
Yeah, yes, it's the same United. But yeah, it's the same United. It is. But to be frank with you, that United team for me, if we look closely, didn't look like a United team that had arrived. There were still a lot of cracks. Anyone who watched them closely with one another, there was still a lot of cracks. What just helped United was there was just this period in time where they just had this good run of form where they were just high on confidence and it kept going. That's a thing about United. Once they are able to hit that spot, that confidence kicks in and they keep going to the point that even if they meet City, I'm not saying City might beat them, but you would see that they would even try to probably make life a little bit difficult for City, and it's not going to be maybe a one-way thing. That is how United can do. But when it gets to a point where all these things just fizzle out. That's why you would see in games. It was there last season. They would start very well. They would be leading, and before you know it, they fizzled out. Is that down to the coach? These are things that have been very inherent, even from coaches, coaches past.
Kole, I want us to now shift attention to this team called. Thank you so much, everybody. To this team called Chelsea FC. They are London. They are also in London. Chelsea in crisis. Robbie, do you agree with me?
I actually wanted to talk about Man United, but since you decided to take me on the Chelsea matter, no problem whatsoever. Seriously, because the truth is, I think we really need to look at things objectively and put them into right perspective. Margaret says she wants good football, and she will throw 3 points away. Kole wants 3 points and does not care how the football is played. And you begin to ask yourself, let me talk, because I was not interrupting anybody while people were making their points. Let me make my point quietly, and I will leave the mic. Mm-hmm. Now, you're looking at things in retrospect, and you're asking yourself, how do you want this team to play, and how do you want this team to make headway? Now, as it is, I said this from the first game of the season. Maybe next week or on Friday, you can play back what I said as regards Man U, that they will not get away with this kind of suspect style of playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a game they should have more or less dropped points or drawn. Because that tackle of Andre Onana on that Wolverhampton Wanderers should have been a penalty and nothing short of a penalty. But United got the win, and everybody thought, it is going to be more or less a slick season for United going forward. Now we are seeing the cracks, and everybody is screaming, okay, play good football and give us 3 points. Don't play good football, don't play good football, and blah, 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 blah. United will not play good football this season. Let us just accept that. United will drop points against enterprising teams and teams that will more or less take the fight to their doorstep. E.g., Arsenal, e.g. Brighton, Newcastle will probably beat this United team. Manchester City will beat this United team both home and away. Liverpool will beat this United team home and away. If Chelsea are more or less man enough or brave enough, they can also pick a point against United. And of course, if you begin to look at other enterprising teams in the league, they will pick points off United. Because right now, this coach, just like Prof rightly said, this coach has not been able to get his idea across to the players. And that, for a fact, is a problem. And I will agree with Kole as well. The kind of football that United fans want to see in terms of entertaining, enterprising, style of play kind of football, these players cannot offer it. So the better or the best time that United fans wake up to that reality, the better for them. Away from United, let me quickly talk about Chelsea.
Please.
As for Chelsea,